Sending data, and we will soon be live. All right, let's get this going. Monday on Monday with the team at OnDemandPaul. I want to start off with something I should have started off with last week, which is the purpose of what we're doing, not just today, but overall with the ODP channel. We're on a mission to discover work around life. And what that means is putting life at the center of things and finding income sources to do that. And we live in an era today that we have the technology that has forced some of us to be remote, but also allows us to be remote. And so we're able to touch base with people and partner with people that are very skillful at different things. And putting the right combination of those people together, we can all operate at the top of our license. And so with that, we can bring the right people together on an on-demand basis, find them quickly and implement. And we can implement to do many different things. We can start businesses to create profits, but we can also create businesses and enterprises to create solutions in our communities. And so you'll see us do a lot of different types of endeavors. And some of them might be just selling apparel, while other ones might be addressing mental health needs in our community. So that's the exciting thing. And to do all of that, we've all got to be on the same page. And there's a million different pieces of technology out there. But what's most important is getting face-to-face on a consistent basis. That's what we're doing here on Monday episodes. These are a segment of what we do as a team every week, just so you can see a behind the scenes look of the type of conversations we're having to keep everybody on the same page. So with that, we're going to start as we usually do with what's the good word. And the first one to do it is our newest member, Chase, who we're just going to call the research guy for now. Chase has worked with Christy in the past, actually lives in Christy's hometown, just graduated college. Chase, where'd you go to college and what'd you graduate with?
So I just got my bachelor's degree from Illinois State University. I'm a communication major with my sequence in organizational and leadership communication.
Which is exactly what we need, because we're in the communications business with this. You know, to be able to, we're going to be organizing lots of projects for ourselves and for others. So Chase, you get to start out. What's the good word today?
All right. So the word I'm bringing today is manifestation.
Whoa. Why manifestation?
It's actually a word I've been thinking about even in my last year of school. But it's all about the law of attraction. There's laws in this universe that are there and they're concrete. You attract with what you think. With how you think, you're creating what you want. Negative energy is gonna have a negative answer.
Right.
So it's all about creating what you want, having the thought process behind it, and you can do it. You can do a lot with the positive energy you create yourself.
And that's one of the pool rules here on the ODP channel is we're really only trying to bring positivity around us. And so Christy, he has set the bar high with manifestation. What do you have for us today?
I'm not gonna lie, like he's well above my stage right now. My focus right now is strategic implementation. It's a phrase.
That's two words.
I know. I can't decide. I guess implementation is my word. But with a strategic focus. See how I did that?
All right. We'll let that fly.
Just being kind of, the program manager, like the person that's trying to oversee the strategies that we're putting into place. I think implementation is just at the forefront of my mind right now, because while we have a lot of irons in the fire, we have a lot going on, and they're all really exciting and very positive things. I have to keep us focused, right? I have to pick whatever channel I have to put my efforts towards right now. And right now, for me, it's all about implementation. So that's kind of where, like, my vein that I'm living in, I guess.
Perfect. And my word of the day is incognito. because if I don't get a haircut pretty soon, I will be incognito. And it's also a way that if you hold Control and Shift at the same time and press N, you can pop up a new Chrome window if you're in Chrome. And we were playing around with some stuff earlier, testing workflows for implementation and doing it from an incognito standpoint. So we weren't logged into our Monday.com, and we're going to see what that outside implementation looked like. Okay, so Chase, really excited to have you. Young, fresh mind. You're already showing me things, and I know you got on the social media, Instagram. You're like, this dude needs to learn how to hashtag. And yes, I do.
I appreciate it because I'm super excited, very excited.
It's good stuff. So we also, looking at this last week, the accomplishments that have taken place. Number one is we had a call with Jill McCarthy, who's from Adventure Bright LLC, and I'm pumped because Christy, you and her are meeting later today, right? To talk about how we're doing partnership.
This one.
So, what are you most excited about bringing Jill on board to be part of this on-demand team?
So Jill is a talent assessment specialist that focuses in the Clifton Strengths test. And that is exciting to me because that is a test that I've not only taken for one prior employer, but for two prior employers. And sadly, I didn't get to do much with those results with those former employers. So I can say it's a super valid test because I took the test about 2 years apart. I'm sorry, 10 years apart, and received very similar results. And what the test does is it really looks at each individual person's strengths. So what they lend themselves to naturally. And then, and it was really interesting. The test that I took originally, my bottom 5 were different than the test I took about 10 years later. And I think it was because I was focused on improving those things. But what the Clifton book will tell you, which I purchased after the second test, because I'm like, what does this really mean for me? Like, how do I capitalize on this? Because I wasn't getting guidance from my employer. We just didn't do anything with it after we took the test. And so in the book, I realized that the whole theory is that you don't have to focus on your bottom 5 to improve them. You can get that type of support from teammates, from on-demand talent, from other people, other places, because it's okay that they're your weaknesses. It's just acknowledging that they're your weakest areas and then finding the right people to plug together in the puzzle. And so what Jill does is Jill is the coach of teams after they've taken this assessment. And so I'm super stoked to have somebody to learn from and to help us optimize our team in terms of what all of our strengths are and where each, we can help each other. And then what holes do we need to fill, right? With on-demand talent, what are the weaknesses that we have as a team and who can help us fill those gaps as well.
It's going to be fun. So one of the first episodes when we launched the podcast will be an interview with Jill and I, and she breaks down my strengths. And then what's going to be excellent to have her, around here all the time, part of the team, is to do, like Christy just said, is that assessment and to look at, side by side how we match up. So really look at that. The other accomplishment from the tech side is we've got our MVP workflow. And just really quick, Christy, if you want to share your screen.
Sure.
This blew my mind because I didn't know this was coming, but I saw this today, and I know there's a lot of heavy lifting by Christy and AJ to get this in place. It's going to be exciting to engage the team.
So my main mission in this was to design a workflow that mimicked what we talked about last week, which was there tends to be a trigger. It causes you to start action. So you come up with your plan, then you do the action, then you get that next set of eyes to review whatever it is that you've just done, and then you go with that idea. And go can mean a lot of things, right? So in order for me to kind of wrap our team around that, I really had to think through like, where do we start? Where do our workflows need to begin? And so Paul and I decided that those would begin with either new ideas for content, or by somebody expressing like, we need X as a team. And so the idea board we showed last week, the idea board is we put ideas on here, we can vote on them, and then we can decide what type of campaign or campaigns we're going to run that idea through. But our needs were a little bit different. And so I tried to think of a way that was really easy for my teammates to be able to share with Paul or myself or Phoenix what those needs are. And so I utilize what is called a Monday form. And so on a Monday form, it's basically built off of the board. So you build the board first, and then you craft your form to feed into that board. And so in our particular case, we need to know, what do they need? We need to know what kind of need is that? Is there some sort of a document that needs to be associated with that need, like a creative brief or something like that? And then who it's requested by and what that person believes the priority to be. So, and as you can see, we have several test items in there right now as we're, trying to run this through, but I just wanted to show an example of it. So let's just say that I needed a contract created for a new ODT member. Let's just say that. So I need a new contracts template created by legal so that I can hire new ODT on-demand talent team members. So this is a legal document that I need to request because we don't have this template created yet, though it's in process. I may, in some cases, want to attach something. Now, in this case, I'm not going to attach something for the lawyer because I don't have that background, but I just want to, demonstrate how it can work. So I'm going to attach this week's agenda just to show. So it attaches it here. And then the requester can tell us their priority. So when do they need it? Do they need it like yesterday? Do they need it within the next week? So the next 5 business days, or just, I need this, I need to put it on the list, but the timing is up to the team. So I'm going to say I need this yesterday. And then anything else I should know? Watch ODP on all our live channels.
Great plug.
So then when I submit the form, that comes into this board that Paul and I and Phoenix can see, so we can review what's required. And so as you can see, it enters it as a new item. It tells us what kind of need that it is. So it's prepped to push out to that team member whenever we say go. We've got the file, which is, it automatically shows the name of that file here as well. It lists who created this, and then the priority. Now, this is something that as the overseers of the board, we can change, right? So we're like, yeah, this is important, but it's not quite as important as some of the other items we've got. And so as soon as we move it to start, it's going to push that item to the board and also down here into our approved topics area. So now our legal on-demand talent can see the request, as well as we have a backlog down here, which I can open up of, you can see my random tests, but also that, I can at any given point look up what we've already sent out, etc. So that's an example of the MVP of the workflow we developed in this past week.
Thank you.
That's
awesome. I mean, this is, again, why are we showing this, everybody? Why are we making this a live air? Is because we want other people to see this and realize, the ways in which we can communicate. It takes the right type of people to set these type of things up, like Christy and AJ. This is not something I could be doing. My brain doesn't work that way. And so having a team together, we can get that accomplished and then get everybody who has those different types of brains on the same page. So the goals for this next week.
Mm-hmm.
number one is we need to implement this MVP workflow, and then we can start adjusting. But this is a great example of like, we spent a good amount of time planning for this. Now we need to go test it out and get some feedback from our users. The users are us, the users are our other teammates. We're going to have the independent contractor agreement ready to go. And so we're going to get those signed with team members. So, really important that we're all working this team environment together on an independent contractor basis. We're not trying to build a big behemoth of a company. Rather, we're just trying to bring our teams together as we can develop work around life. We need to hire some ODTs, which I want to get to here in a minute. And then from a tool standpoint, we're going to finish the development of the workflow for the digital content. So, we're a media channel. We're going to produce lots of different types of digital content. Some are going to be longer form like this. Some are going to be short posts in a bunch of different fashions. And then the one that I forgot to add to the agenda, Christy, is by the end of the week, we are going to finalize what the go live date is for the podcast. So we will start announcing that, and everybody can tune in and have you go download. And we've got some podcasts that are being produced by Revision Sound. Our buddy Josh, another member of the team. So we'll get that date set by the end of the week. But we still need some more people on this team to help us accomplish some of our tasks with ODP and some of the projects we have coming up. So for that, I would like to turn it over to Chase. If you can kind of give a rundown of who those are and where people can find our postings. So if they've got the talents or know somebody, they can submit.
Okay. Chrissy, do we have our list up?
Yes. So it is.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's on the agenda. Sorry. But we're still essentially, Paul, looking for the same roles that we were planning on looking for next week. And Chase and I have been on Upwork posting those roles and inviting people to the jobs. But the place that you can locate those jobs is on Upwork. If you search for OnDemandPaul with spaces, you can find our company on there and then the post that we've posted. Chase, do you have those roles yet? Or do you want me to just jump into them?
Well, that's the thing. I was trying to get them up, but no, I didn't.
Yeah, okay, it's okay. No, so they are and that's my fault. Chase is on my computer. At the last minute, he was having computer trouble. So I threw him on my laptop and did not have any of this open for him. So that's my bad, Chase. So there are 4 that we're pretty actively looking for right now. They are the Elementor developer. We're looking for a UX designer, but we basically need a wireframe sketch. That's where we are right now. And that wireframe sketch is going to be for our larger partner website, which will include curriculum modules on there as well. And so with that, we also need an e-learning consultant. So we need a wireframe sketcher for our UX design, but we also need an e-learning consultant to kind of help guide us there. Ideally, our UX designer would have experience in developing like curricular websites as well as just creating regular workflows for our website. But we are very willing to split that responsibility or to combine it into a single role. And then we also need a PHP developer. So those are the 4 like main things that we're looking for right now.
So if you know anybody, hit us up.
Yep.
Also, go to our social media channels. Again, Chase is going to be helping me figure out how to monitor those things, use those things appropriately. And we got a lot of good stuff coming. Chase and I are going to be looking at target markets this week, which is going to be a lot of fun, developing tools of how we can go identify target markets in the landscape in which we are operating, and then use that template for some of the other businesses we have in the pipeline. So with that, I think we have covered the agenda.
Yes, we have.
All under 25 minutes, which is always our goal from a timing standpoint, because we like to block our time off in 25-minute increments. So thank you all for attending. Thank you, Christy. Thank you, Chase. And until next time, shuffle well.